Good morning, dear friends. In last lecture, we started with drugs acting on autonomic nervous system, that is ANS. Now, in last lecture, we completed regarding definition and classification of sympathomimetic drug or adrenergic drug. There are two types. One is to be called as catecholamines, and second one that is to be called as non-catecholamines. Already we completed classification of adrenergic drug or sympathomimetic drug. So there are two types of adrenergic drugs. One is to be called as catecholamines and second one is non-catecholamines. Catecholamines are those compounds, these are the drugs containing benzene ring with OH substitution in third and fourth position of benzene ring and attachment of amino group at the side chain, therefore called as catecholamines. Example of catecholamines are adrenaline, noradrenaline, isoprenaline. These drugs belonging to category that is containing this nucleus, catecholamine nucleus, and therefore called as catecholamines. Example are adrenaline, noradrenaline, and isoprenaline. So let us see pharmacological actions of these catecholamines. Regarding pharmacological actions of catecholamines. Now here already you know that noradrenaline that is acting as alpha agonist. First you should remember that noradrenaline acting as alpha agonist, isoprenaline that is beta agonist, and adrenaline acting as both alpha and beta agonist. Already we completed in classification that alpha agonist, noradrenaline, beta agonist, isoprenaline, and both alpha beta agonist, that is adrenaline. Now alpha receptors are found where these alpha receptors are present. Alpha receptors are present in peripheral blood vessels. In peripheral blood vessels, then in eyes, GIP, skeletal muscles. There is the presence of alpha receptors. While beta receptors, there are two types, beta 1 and beta 2. Beta 1 receptors that is present in heart, while beta 2 receptors present in bronchi, that is in bronchial smooth muscles as well as in liver. There is the presence of beta 1 and beta 2. Now if you understand receptors and where the alpha and beta receptors are going to present, then very easy to understand pharmacological action of catecholamines. Now you understand that catecholamines include all these three drugs, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and isoprenaline. Now first pharmacological action of this catecholamine, that is on cardiovascular system. By acting on cardiovascular system, it majorly produces action on heart. Now first you should know that heart contains which type of receptors. Heart contains beta 1 receptors, isn't it? Now beta receptor that is contain beta 1 receptor, beta agonist drug, that is isoprenaline and adrenaline. Adrenaline acting as both alpha and beta agonist, while isoprenaline acting as beta agonist. Means these two drugs acting on beta receptor. Noradrenaline that is acting only on alpha receptor. Means heart containing only beta receptor. Noradrenaline does not produces any pharmacological action on heart because heart contains beta 1 receptor, isn't it? So particularly adrenaline drug and isoprenaline drug, by acting on beta 1 receptor, increases heart rate and increases force of contraction. Heart rate and force of contraction. So remember that whenever catecholamines, particularly this adrenaline and isoprenaline drug, by acting on heart, because heart contains only beta 1 receptor. Non-adrenaline acting as alpha agonist. Alpha receptors are not present in heart. So remember that only isoprenaline and adrenaline acting on heart. By acting on heart, beta 1 receptor, stimulation action, there is increase in heart rate and increase in force of contraction, and thereby increases cardiac output. Means produces positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect. This adrenaline drug, by acting on beta 1 receptor, produces positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect. Now what is chronotropic? Chronotropic, that is related with heart rate. It is related with heart rate, while inotropic that is related with force of contraction. Chronotropic that is related with heart rate, inotropic related with force of contraction. Means when adrenaline and acetylcholine drug by acting on heart, that is on beta 1 receptor, increases heart rate and force of contraction, that is produces positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect. Similarly, by acting on cardiovascular system, this catecholamines also produces action on peripheral blood vessels. Now peripheral blood vessels contain beta alpha receptors, isn't it? While beta receptors are absent in peripheral blood vessels. So remember that here on peripheral blood vessels only non-adrenaline and adrenaline drug acting on peripheral blood vessels, because adrenaline acting on both alpha and beta, while alpha agonist that is non-adrenaline. So peripheral blood vessels there is the presence of alpha receptor. Now here when non-adrenaline drug given to the patient that used in treatment of hypotension shock, that is those patient having hypotension condition, that is ज्यांचा blood pressure कमी असेल अशा पेशंटला जो आपण non-adrenaline given, this non-adrenaline by acting on alpha receptor, that is on peripheral blood vessels. Peripheral blood vessels contain alpha receptors. So by acting on alpha receptors, that is on peripheral blood vessel, it produces vasoconstriction effect. Vasoconstriction of peripheral blood vessel, and due to vasoconstriction action on peripheral blood vessel increases blood pressure, and therefore noradrenaline is suitable in hypotension shock. कि ज्या पेशंट का ब्लड प्रेशर लो असेल अशा पेशंटला जो आपण नॉनएड्रेनालिन देणार और फिनाइलएपिनेफ्रिन ड्रग देणार, that drug by acting on alpha receptor produces vasoconstriction effect on peripheral blood vessel, and due to vasoconstriction effect there is a rise in systolic blood pressure, and that treatment, the drug used in treatment of hypotension patient. Similarly, adrenaline also acting on alpha receptor, by acting on alpha receptor it produces vasoconstriction. Simultaneously adrenaline also produces action on beta receptor. So by acting on alpha receptor it causes vasoconstriction, while on beta receptor, by acting on beta receptor it causes a vasodilation effect, and due to vasodilation the net effect, that is lowering of blood pressure. Means when adrenaline given, because of action on both receptor alpha and beta, there is a decrease in blood pressure, while noradrenaline only acting on alpha receptor thereby produces rise in systolic blood pressure and therefore using hypotension shock, while adrenaline because of action on both receptor it causes decrease in blood pressure, lowering of blood pressure, it produces hypotension, and therefore it is not suitable in hypotension shock. Only noradrenaline drug is suitable. Now one more thing, that suppose this is here adrenaline drug injected to patient. When adrenaline given, there is a positive chronotropic, positive inotropic effect as well as increases blood pressure. This is by acting on alpha receptor. This is the action on alpha receptor. By acting on alpha receptor, there is a vasoconstriction effect, and because of vasoconstriction, there is a rise in systolic blood pressure. While adrenaline also acting on beta receptor, and by acting on beta receptor, there is a lowering of blood pressure. Isn't it? So here there is this is action on beta receptor. By acting on alpha receptor, there is a stimulation effect, while on beta receptor it causes decrease in diastolic blood pressure, and the net result, that is decrease in blood pressure. Suppose, and under this condition, if there is a alpha blocking agent, alpha receptor blocking agent like ergotamine or ergotamine drug given along with adrenaline, you understand that adrenaline acting on both receptor alpha and beta. By acting on alpha receptor there is a stimulation effect, vasoconstriction effect, thereby rising systolic blood pressure, while by acting on beta receptor there is a vasodilation effect, and that decreases blood pressure. The net result, that is decrease in blood pressure. But when there is a alpha receptor blocking agent like ergotamine or ergotamine drug, when given to the patient, these drugs block alpha receptor action of adrenaline. Suppose this is adrenaline, it produces alpha receptor action. Now here when adrenaline plus ergotamine drug, when given to the patient, there is a lowering of blood pressure. That is, it produces blockage of alpha receptor action, and there is a relaxation effect on beta receptor. Thereby there is a lowering in blood pressure. This phenomenon, this is to be called as Dulles vasomotor reversal action. This one is the very important one in most of the question paper. They will be asked, write a note on Dulles vasomotor reversal. So what is Dulles vasomotor reversal? That is the action of adrenaline on blood vessels, peripheral blood vessels. Here, when noradrenaline given, noradrenaline acting only on alpha receptor, that is on peripheral blood vessel, and there is a vasoconstriction effect, rise in blood pressure. While in case of adrenaline, because of action on both receptor, initially by acting on alpha receptor, there is a vasoconstriction, rise in blood pressure. This is stimulation action. While on beta receptor, it causes vasodilation, and thereby there is a lowering in blood pressure. The net result, that is decrease in blood pressure. Under such a condition, if adrenaline drug combined with alpha blocking agent, alpha receptor blocking agent like ergotamine and ergotoxin, these are the alpha blocker drug. When these drugs given along with adrenaline, it blocks action of adrenaline on alpha receptor. By blocking alpha receptor action, there is a lowering of blood pressure and thereby maintain blood pressure up to normal level. So that condition, that this phenomenon, this is called as Dulles vasomotor reversal. So if they are short note on Dulles vasomotor reversal, you are supposed to explain this graph that first adrenaline acting on alpha and beta receptor. This is the blocking action that adrenaline plus ergotamine when given. Initially there is a stimulation effect. Because of action of ergotamine, there is a beta receptor action and then produces relaxation effect. That is lowering of blood pressure. This phenomenon studied by scientists, that is known as Dulles, and therefore this phenomenon is called as Dulles vasomotor reversal action. So this is very important one in annual examination or in sessional examination. They will be asked, write a note on Dulles vasomotor reversal. So this is the first action of catecholamines. Now here catecholamines, that is all these three drugs. First you remember the receptors and alpha agonist, beta agonist, or both alpha and beta agonist. Then and then very easy, that a heart it contains beta 1 receptor, and therefore only isoprenaline drug and adrenaline drug acting on beta 1 receptor. While peripheral blood vessel is the alpha receptor. So noradrenaline and adrenaline acting on peripheral blood vessel. So this is the first action of catecholamines, major action, that is on cardiovascular system. Second pharmacological action of catecholamines, that is on bronchial smooth muscle. Now in case of bronchial smooth muscle, there is a presence of beta 2 receptor. Bronchial smooth muscle contain beta 2 receptor. Now here particularly adrenaline drug and isoprenaline drug acting on beta 2 receptor, while noradrenaline does not produce any action on beta receptor. So here when adrenaline and isoprenaline drug by acting on bronchial smooth muscle, that is on beta 2 receptor, it causes powerful bronchodilation effect. There is a powerful bronchodilation, that is it produces relaxation effect on bronchial smooth muscle, and therefore adrenaline, it is the drug of choice in treatment of bronchial asthma. Sometimes they will be asked, give reason that why adrenaline is the drug of choice in bronchial asthma, or what are bronchodilators, give example. So bronchial asthma, that is nothing but constriction of bronchial smooth muscle. Due to constriction of bronchial smooth muscle, there is a difficulty in breathing. त्या पेशंटला श्वास घ्यायला काय होईल, त्रास होईल. Under such a condition, when bronchodilator drug, that those drug causes dilation of bronchial smooth muscle, relaxation of bronchial smooth muscle, and thereby relieve difficulty in breathing and useful in treatment of bronchial asthma. And therefore adrenaline, it is a powerful bronchodilator drug that produces powerful relaxation effect on bronchial smooth muscle, relieve difficulty in breathing, and therefore it is the drug of choice in treatment of bronchial asthma. So sometimes there will be a full question that give reason why adrenaline is the drug of choice in bronchial asthma. So by acting on beta 2 receptor, it causes bronchodilation effect, relaxation effect on bronchial smooth muscle, and therefore it is the drug of choice, particularly adrenaline, isoprenaline, salbutamol. These drugs are bronchodilator drug. So sometimes they will ask what is bronchial asthma, give the treatment, or define bronchodilators, give the example. So adrenaline, isoprenaline, salbutamol, these are the bronchodilator drug. By acting on beta 2 receptor, produces relaxation effect. So this is the second action, that is on bronchial smooth muscle or bronchial asthma. Then in addition to this, also acting on eyes, this adrenaline drug or sympathomimetic that is causes dilation of pupil, and that dilation of pupil, that is increases size of pupil than normal, and that phenomenon that is called as mydriasis. Such an individual, he can able to see only far away object, he cannot able to see nearer object. That phenomenon that is called as mydriasis. So remember that all sympathomimetic drug, adrenaline or adrenaline, by acting on eyes, that is on alpha receptor, eyes contain alpha receptor. So by acting on alpha receptor, these drug causes mydriation effect, that is mydriasis or dilation of pupil. Sometimes there may be undefined mydriasis. Give example. Mydriasis, that is nothing but the dilation of pupil. There is an increase in size of pupil than normal. Such individual, he can able to see only far away object, फक्त लांबचं बघू शकतो. He cannot able to see nearer object. That phenomenon that is called as mydriasis, and the drug that is mydriatic drug. Example of mydriatic drug are adrenaline, noradrenaline. So by acting on alpha receptor causes dilation of pupil. In addition to this, another effect that is on GIT. By acting on GIT, it also causes a relaxation effect on gastrointestinal tract. And while on central nervous system, this drug does not possess any pharmacological action. Catecholamine, that is adrenaline, noradrenaline, isoprenalin, does not possess any action on central nervous system, because these drugs are unable to cross blood-brain barrier, and therefore this drug doesn't possess any action on central nervous system. So sometimes they will ask, describe pharmacological action of catecholamines or adrenaline, noradrenaline. So if there is adrenaline, then action on heart, peripheral blood vessel, and on bronchi, while eyes contain alpha receptor. If that's describe pharmacological action of catecholamine, then you explain all this. Or sometimes there is a due reason that why adrenaline is the drug of choice in treatment of bronchial asthma. Or write a note on Dallas vasomotor reversal. You are supposed to explain all these two graphs. Isn't it? So this is regarding pharmacological actions of catecholamines. Now regarding ADME, that all catecholamines, that is adrenaline, noradrenaline drug, are not effective by oral route of administration. Generally given by intramuscular or by subcutaneous route of administration, while isoprenalin drug that is effective by sublingual route of administration. These drugs are metabolized by means of two enzymes, that is MAO, monoamino oxidase enzyme, and COMT, that is catechol O-methyl transferase enzyme. These two enzymes causes metabolism of catecholamine, monoamino oxidase enzyme, and another enzyme that is catechol O-methyl transferase, that is COMT enzyme, isn't it? So this is regarding ADME. Now another point that is regarding therapeutic uses of adrenaline. Now adrenaline is called as life-saving drug, or sometimes they may ask due reason that why adrenaline should be available in first aid boxes or in emergency kit of physician. बऱ्याच वेळा due reason paper मध्ये विचारतात why adrenaline is available in first aid boxes or it should be available in emergency kit of physician. This is because of its variety of life-saving action. This adrenaline called as life-saving drug, majorly by acting on liver bronchi, that it produces bronchodilation action. It is a powerful bronchodilator drug, and therefore it is useful in bronchial asthma patient. So this is the first life-saving action, that is a powerful bronchodilator drug, and therefore it is the drug of choice in bronchial asthma. In addition to this, it is also used in heart block condition, in heart arrest condition, as by acting on beta 1 receptor increases heart rate and force of contraction, produces positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect, and therefore useful in heart block or in heart arrest condition also. In addition to this, it is used in treatment of anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock which is caused by penicillin. Penicillin, that is major side effect, that is anaphylactic shock. In treatment of anaphylactic shock, adrenaline is the drug of choice. In addition to this, adrenaline also used as topical hemostatic agent, that is to control nasal and gum bleeding, particularly useful in nasal and gum bleeding as a topical hemostatic agent. In addition to this, another major life-saving action, that adrenaline generally added along with local anesthetic, that is along with the procaine. This is because of its vasoconstriction effect of adrenaline, it reduces systemic absorption of procaine and thereby reduces poisoning effect of procaine. isn't it? And when adrenaline given, adrenaline that is acting as a vasoconstrictor drug, thereby reduces systemic toxicity of procaine as well as increases duration of action of procaine, and therefore generally adrenaline added along with local anesthetic drug or along with the procaine. This is because there are two reasons. One, that procaine along with local anesthetic, that is adrenaline given, this adrenaline produces vasoconstriction, thereby reduces systemic absorption of procaine, thereby reduces systemic toxicity. And second thing, that along with local anesthetic given increases duration of action of procaine. So these are all actions, these are the life-saving action, and due to these life-saving action, this adrenaline should be available in first aid boxes or in the emergency kit of physician. बऱ्याच वेळा थेरapeutic users न विचारतात, they will ask you reason. ते दोन पैकी एक पैकी that why adrenaline is available in first aid boxes or adrenaline present in emergency kit of physician. Why? Because of variety of life-saving action. These are the life-saving action of adrenaline. That it is a powerful bronchodilator drug, therefore useful in bronchial asthma patient. It is used in heart block condition, in heart arrest condition because of positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect, as it increases heart rate and force of contraction. Also used in anaphylactic shock caused by penicillin. Also used as topical hemostatic agent in gum bleeding, in nasal bleeding. It is a topical hemostatic agent, and along with local anesthetic agent, along with the procaine, it reduces systemic toxicity of procaine. So these are all of the life-saving action, and due to this life-saving action, adrenaline should be available in first aid boxes or in the emergency kit of physician. Now regarding side effect, that if this adrenaline drug given by IV, it may lead to process hypertension and cardiac arrhythmia. These are the side effect of this drug. Adrenaline should be contraindicated or should not be given. Sometimes they will ask question that few contraindications of the drug. So if you understand pharmacological action, very easily explain regarding contraindication, that where adrenaline drug should not be given, where these drugs are contraindicated. First thing, that adrenaline should be contraindicated in hypertension patient, isn't it? Another one, that it is also contraindicated in diabetes mellitus patient, in diabetes mellitus patient, in thyrotoxicosis patient, and in spinal anesthesia patient. So remember, sometimes they ask you contraindication of adrenaline, where adrenaline drugs are contraindicated. So it is contraindicated in hypertension patient, in diabetes mellitus, in thyrotoxicosis, and in spinal anesthesia. So किंवा एखादा सुद्धा विचारला name the drug contraindicated in hypertension patient. So in hypertension, adrenaline drug contraindicated. So remember this regarding contraindications. Regarding dose, that adrenaline drug generally given in the dose of 0.5 to 1 ml by intramuscular or by subcutaneous route, if given by IV, leads to process severe hypertension, while isotretinoin drug given in the dose of 10 to 20 mg by sublingual route of administration. So this is regarding catecholamines, that is adrenaline, noradrenaline, and isotretinoin drug acting on alpha and beta receptor and produces different pharmacological actions with due reasons. Now another one, that is non-catecholamines. First thing, what is the difference between catecholamines and non-catecholamines? Already we completed under definition that what is the difference between catecholamines and non-catecholamines. Catecholamines, that is those compound containing benzene ring with OH substitution in third and fourth position. While in case of non-catecholamines, there is absence of hydroxyl group, OH substitution in third and fourth position. Another difference, that catecholamines are not effective by oral route of administration because metabolized by MAO and COMT enzyme, while non-catecholamines are effective by oral route of administration. Another difference, that catecholamines are metabolized by MAO and COMT enzyme because of catechol nucleus, while these drugs are not metabolized by these enzymes. Another difference, that catecholamines produces sympathomimetic action, antinergic action, while non-catecholamines along with sympathomimetic action also use as CNS stimulant drug. These drug crosses blood-brain barrier and produces CNS stimulation action. Another difference, that catecholamines example are adrenaline, noradrenaline, isotretinoin, while non-catecholamines example are ephedrine and amphetamine. isn't it? So this is the difference between catecholamines and non-catecholamines. Now up till now we completed regarding catecholamines. Now under non-catecholamines examples are ephedrine and amphetamine. Just remember that ephedrine, that is the drug obtained from ephedra plant belonging to family Ephedriaceae, also produces pharmacological action, that is on cardiovascular system. By acting on cardiovascular system, it also increases heart rate and force of contraction, that is positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect, but less potent than adrenaline and noradrenaline, isn't it? So these drugs increases heart rate, adrenaline and isotretinoin drug. So these drugs by acting on beta receptors particularly increases heart rate and force of contraction, that produces positive chronotropic and positive inotropic effect. In addition to this, also increases blood pressure and thereby useful in hypotension patient also, but less potent than noradrenaline. Then also majorly acting on CNS, that is on central nervous system, it produces CNS stimulation action and thereby increases mental activity, increases physical performance, increases calculating power of brain also. So that is CNS stimulation action, particularly ephedrine and amphetamine, that is used as CNS stimulant drug. Already we completed under CNS stimulant. In addition to this, on smooth muscle, these drug also produces relaxation effect as like adrenaline, but less potent as a bronchodilator than adrenaline, isn't it? So also produces relaxation effect on bronchial smooth muscle. In addition to this, also acting on eyes and produces dilation of pupil, that is produces mydriasis effect. Dilation of pupil, that is nothing but mydriasis, same as like adrenaline, noradrenaline drug. So by acting on eyes, it causes the dilation of pupil, that is sympathomimetic drug used as mydriatic drug, causes dilation of pupil. So only the difference that these are less potent than catecholamine drug. Remaining actions are going to be same. Nowadays, ephedrine tablets available in market generally given in the dose of 15 to 60 milligram by oral route of administration. Ephedrine syrup available in market. Nasal drops also available, that is used to produce nasal decongestant action. Ephedrine, that is also used as a nasal decongestant. Already we completed that nasal decongestant, metazolin, dialmetazolin, even ephedrine. Then in addition to this, ephedrine eye drops available in market, 1% ephedrine, that is used as a mydriatic drug for the dilation of pupil. Now another one, amphetamine. Amphetamine we already completed. That amphetamine, that is used as a CNS stimulant and particularly used in treatment of narcolepsy. Narcolepsy, that is nothing but attack of sleep in daytime. In the dose of 30 to 40 milligram by oral route of administration, used as a CNS stimulant drug, used in treatment of narcolepsy. So that belonging to sympathomimetic drug and used as a CNS stimulant drug and also used in treatment of narcolepsy. In addition to this, also reduces obesity. Because of loss of appetite action, it reduces obesity and useful in most obese person also. So already we completed amphetamine under CNS stimulant. Sometimes the has mentioned dose, route of administration and one important use of amphetamine. So it is used in the dose of 30 to 40 milligram by oral route of administration in treatment of narcolepsy, that is CNS stimulant drug. In addition to this, also used in obesity. It reduces obesity, produces loss of appetite action and therefore useful in obesity. So this is regarding ephedrine and amphetamine, that is non-catecholamine drug. Here we finished first chapter under autonomic nervous system, that is adrenergic drug or sympathomimetic drug. Already there are under autonomic nervous system there are about 4 chapters. So today we completed, in last lecture we completed definition and classification. Today we completed detailed pharmacological actions, therapeutic uses, adverse effect, due reasons. Due reasons are also important. Already we discussed that this ANS also important, that near about for 14 marks they will be asked questions on these 4 chapters. So today we completed first chapter under autonomic nervous system, that is sympathomimetic drug or adrenergic drugs. Now next time we see second chapter, that is sympatholytics or blockers, that these drugs blocking the action of catecholamines, isn't it? So thank you.